Whoa. Real shit. It's safe. I washed it 6 times. Big Taz. Okay, chat. Who? Okay. Chat says
We're inside a bank in Beirut where there are depositors currently holding it up. He has a gun in his hand and a Molotov cocktail.
Wait, what?
Bank raids like this are happening all over Lebanon, which is currently one of the most catastrophic economic crises in modern history. Years of bad economic policies and sprawling government corruption came crashing down in 2019, leading to mass protests. The Lebanese lira lost nearly 95% of its value, plunging 3/4 of the population below the poverty line.
95%!
Worse by limiting people to taking out only $400 a month of their own money. But due to widespread corruption, those with political connections have been able to secretly transfer billions of dollars abroad, enraging the public. This has led some depositors to take up arms and demand their money. Since July, more than a dozen people have raided banks and walked away with part of their savings. But they're not acting alone. They're backed by groups calling for a depositors' revolution. Right now, we're about to meet someone who has been holding clandestine meetings with depositors who are desperate to get hold of their money and are considering extreme options.
واللي عم يتحكم بحياتنا واللي سرق المال العام ورجع سرق المال الخاص.
Basically, they're doing bank runs, but forcibly.
عم ينكل
So
فينا.
they're like robbing themselves.
إلا بمواجهة.
Rami Oleg is part of the group of lawyers and unions who've helped to organise the depositor movement. They say it's illegal for banks to implement arbitrary capital controls and that under Lebanese law, depositors have the right to fight back. Ali El-Sahli held up a bank for the first time in October. He could no longer pay for his son's university tuition and accommodation in Ukraine, leaving him homeless in Kyiv. That time, security forces arrested El-Sahli before he was able to receive any money.
مجرد واحد حتى العسكري ممنوع يمد ايده. انا كنت عسكري اللي بده يمد ايده علي بدي اكسر له ايده واجره.
Have any of you already tried to get your money out of the bank, and what has happened? What have they said to you when you've done that?
ولم نترك أي سبيل إلا سلكناه للمطالبة بالودائع، وحتى أثناء الحركة اللي عم نعملها والاقتحامات اللي عم بتصير كنا بموازاة الاقتحامات عم نراجع القضاء.
أنا من زمان جربت إني أروح طالب بمصرياتي لأنه أنا حسابي جاري، واجتمعت مع المدير وقلت له أنا بدي مصرياتي، قال لي ما في أعمل لك شيء.
قدم دعوة، قدمت له نوراء، قدمت دعوة حتى ببنك ولحد هلا يعني ما تجاوبوا، يعني بدي بيع كليتي.
Tacos. Look at the tacos. Yum.
كلية نعم لحتى أعلم ابني نعم.
لحظة he sold it already. تعال قال لك أنت قبض $7,000.
جابت $7,000 من الزلمة بس فقط لكلم العلم ابني. 30 طاعة يعني قبل بنهار من إدرا السنة فات على العملية انتهينا وخلصين. قابض من الزلمة 7,000 وما حدا عارف.
7,000
دولار. هلا بعدين له رديت له منهم 3,850 بعدين له بدمتي 3,150 وحتى جمعة الماضي عدت تواصلت معه لعود اعطيه الكلية وقفني الاستاذ رامي قال لي طول بالك نحن رح نجرب نشوف شو الطريقة لهالشان.
Have you, before this banking crisis, before everything that's been taking place, had you ever broken the law? Had you ever committed a crime?
No, أبداً أبداً.
لا ولا مرة. أنا معي شهادة حسن السوق من قوى الأمن الداخلي طالع إنه ما علي ولا شيء صغير بلبنان.
And right now, hypothetically, would you be willing to hold up a bank? Yes or no?
بأتم الاستعداد لأنه صبرنا خلص 3 سنين. بدنا مصرياتنا.
ما عاد عندنا إلا هي الحل.
Is everybody willing to use force? What would you use if you were to hold up a bank?
بالمولوتوف حنفوت على البنك، حنفوت بسلاح حقيقي. بدنا ناخد ودايعنا. ممنوع يشطبوا الودائع.
This is a
What the
Molotov
fuck am I watching?
Yes.
You're ready to use this?
No.
Are you not afraid of hurting people.
لا نحن مضطرين.
But there may be innocent people who could be injured or even killed.
مش ذنبي، هيدا ذنب أصحاب البنوك. هن اللي عم بيحطوا هول الناس بخطر. هن اللي سارقين حاجزين مصاري العالم وعم بيحطوا هيدي الناس بخطر، مش ذنبي أنا.
How many of these do you have?
قد ما بدنا فينا نعمل.
And you know how to use these?
نتعلم. نحن ما كنا بنستعمل مولوتوف قبل، هلا بدنا نتعلم.
ما حبينا هالشغله، اساسا ما حبينا، نحن مجبرين، اجبرونا هن.
You're all saying that you're ready to die doing this.
نعم.
مثل ما عم تقول استنفدت جميع الوسائل.
تخاف؟
لا، كلنا بشر، بطلنا نخاف.
كلكم أسألكم كلكم تخافون؟
لا
وصلوا بلدنا بلد زبالة، خليه ينفض الخوف عنه. هالخوف والرعب اللي عم يحطوه فينا بدنا ننفضه وبدنا نثيرهم من محلهم، يا نحن يا هن، ما عاد فينا نعيش هيك.
هذه البنك؟ هيدا قريب. يعني أنت تعيشين هون والبنك هون، يعني نص دقيقة. Sally Hafez went viral for raiding a bank in October. في أي وقت أنت غيرتي بالك؟
لا ما غيرت بالي أبداً. قلت أنه لازم أعملها هلأ ليه؟ لسبب كثير أساسي، أنه بين ما توصل الشرطة بكون أنا خلصت. هلا بقفلوا الباب، شوفي. لا بيتقفل الباب.
So they just saw Sally approaching and they've just run into the bank. I think employees of the bank have just run in and closed the door because they're obviously afraid of her. يخافوا يعني عبالهم راح تسوي نفس الشيء لو يخافون يشوفوكي
بخافوا يشوفوني، بخافوا يحكوا معي، بخافوا يطلعوا فيي، بخافوا يسمعوا اسمي. كل هيدا ما بيهمني ابدا. انا هلا اذا بدي فوت وعاملين هيك بفوت، بكسر الباب وبفوت، خلي ابن مرة يوقف بوجهي.
Hello. السلام عليكم.
هيدي نانسي. كيف صاروا ايديك؟ ليكي. يلا برافو، يلا اخر واحد، برافو، سكري.
Hafez went to demand her family's money to help her younger sister. Nancy is 23 and has a 3-year-old daughter. She suffered multiple strokes and can no longer walk. Doctors eventually discovered she had brain cancer.
وصلنا بدنا $20,000 ما معنا. مصرياتنا بالبنك. بلشت أنا هون ساعد أكتر على وزارة الصحة. اقتحمت وزارة الصحة 3 مرات. حكيت مع الوزير كذا مرة.
ايش قال؟
أنه هو ما عنده عصاية سحرية. على أساس أنا مفكرة حالي رايحة عند ساندريلا. شو أنا طالبة منك عصاية سحرية؟ أنا أصلاً ما عم بطلب منك، أنت موظف عنا وعند الشعب اللبناني. حسيت بدي أقتله. حسيت إنه لا، مش بس أختي بدها تموت. وأنتوا تكونوا عم تتمسخروا وتقولوا معنا.
Okay. So they have the money, but they can't get it out, right? Just like the concept of a bank run, where you go to the bank and they too many people at once, and then they don't let you get the money out. They don't use. That's insane.
عصاية سحرية.
How much money were you asking for?
نحن عنا 20,000، طلبنا يعطونا 10، نص المبلغ. ما قبلوا.
At what point did you think, that's it, I'm going to take matters into my own hand?
قبل بيوم بجي لعندها، غيرت لها تيابها وسطحتها، وعطتني وصية. وصتني، قالت لي وصيتي لك أنا إذا متت بتربي لي بنتي. ما بدي بنتي تتربى بميتم يعذبوها أو رح جيب لك المصاري. رح تسافري ورح تتعالج. بتفيقني 6 الصبح، بتسهى عيني شوي بتفيقني، بتقلي سالي قومي. في بلا شو في؟ بكي شي؟ قالت لي شفت بمنامي اني عم بمشي. حتروحي تجيبي لي مصاري؟ قلت لها حروح جيب لك مصاري.
Armed with a toy gun and a jerry can filled with water and washing up liquid, Hafez and a group of supporters headed to the bank, where they quickly stormed inside and locked the doors, recording it all on Facebook Live. So you said you want your money, you've locked the doors. What happens next?
سكرت الباب وهون صار في حالة ذعر وصريخ بقلب البنك. دخلت للمدير قلت له تذكرتني؟ ما ابتسم. تذكرتني؟ وطلعت بعيونه. أنا يلي جيت امبارح وقلت لي ما فيني أعمل لك شيء. أنا اللي جيت واللي قلت لي.
I understand the problem, Chad, but technically the bank can't do anything, right? Because if they give all the liquidity, like I said, to one or two people, then I get it. It's anti-bank run, but then they're out of funds entirely.
50 months xQc
ما بنقدر نعطيك مصاري. أنا اللي جيت وشرحت لك وضع أختي وحكيتنا
because they don't carry infinite cash on hand, right? So because the country's defaulting, they have it probably even less, right, to give, and people are doing bank runs or whatever, so they even lower the amount that you can take out, right? So then it's not really the bank's fault.
أنا يلي معلمينك سرقوني. اليوم جيت على هيدا البنك اللي سرقني لأجيب حقي من بين عيونكم.
Hafa's got around $14,000 and managed to escape through a broken glass panel in the back. She handed herself in 3 weeks later, but by that time, the banks had dropped all charges. She was released the next day.
Nancy?
Hafa's family has since used the money to take Nancy to Turkey for urgent treatment after learning that her cancer had spread.
رينا إن شاء الله يا رب بترجعي عم تركبي. طمنيني.
Yes.
It's around 10 a.m. We've been told to come to this area. We don't know exactly why, but we think that there might be some direct action. From the conversations that have been had, this very well could be a bank raid. Hi, Rami, Hind. Hi, it's Hind.
Hey, طلعوا انتوا.
Whose fault is it? It's the fucking country. I mean, I said it's sorry to say, but it's the country's fault, right? They're defaulting, right? Pretty much, and then people get to get their money out. They're using these funds.
Okay, USD.
They just can't liquidate.
Okay, يلا جايين. Okay. That was Rami. He seemed really on edge. He's been very vague. And at the moment, it just seems like it's a waiting game. So we're just going to hang around where they've told us to wait.
Well, I get it.
Moments later, we were given a final location. And as we approached, we saw a crowd gathered outside a bank.
It's okay.
هيك والله حتى اللي برمني بوطوا اعصابكم اعملوا معروف الكل يبوط اعصابكم.
We just saw a whole group of people outside the bank. The army was there, and we came in. And at the moment, it's just chaos. People are negotiating, asking for their money back. And there's Ali, who we met before. He has a gun in his hand and a Molotov cocktail.
ما حدا يغلط معنا. سكتوا للبيت.
I think that's one of the employees at the bank. He's asking him to close the door. They want to negotiate inside without everybody around them. It's the same people that we met in the meeting who are taking part in what's happening right now. There are people gathering outside. Anything could happen right now.
هاي بتفجر. اللي بيموت يموت. أنا مش مات. هاي بفرجيكم إنه أول طلوع جاي.
علي ما تعمل نار. ما تعمل نار. عم أهلك هي. عم نحكي مع المديرة.
This is another example of Lebanese people taking matters into their own hands. They're desperate to get hold of their money back, and they're taking part in extreme action in order to get that back.
ابني 5 سنين طب خلص بعد عنده هاي السنة مقدم عليهم دعوة وما عم يجاوبوا معي مقدم دعوة لهذا القضاء والقضاء ميت نايم لا دونه حياتي أنا مسعد موت المال يكمل هذا الصفحة.
كم فلوس عندك؟
60,997.
Jesus them.
افتحوا الصناديق. المدير عم طلع افتحوا الصناديق.
يلا عجلوا.
Someone just shouted al-mukhabarat, which means that the Lebanese Secret Service is here. It appears that they've come to some sort of an agreement because they're counting money, they're putting it in a bag, and they're negotiating how to get it out. Rami, there are people who are very afraid right now. How are you feeling towards them?
I'm sorry about that. Collateral damage. This is what happens. We have these people and their rights, and everything else comes next. And the only people to blame are the bank owners.
The mukhabarat are here, the secret services.
That's fine.
Are you afraid?
Okay, so they'll empty the vault for these guys that are robbing it, right? For the amount that they actually have, and then they'll do the transaction manually, right? But then the vaults are going to be empty and they're going to be GG, right?
They're being arrested.
There's no money after that.
They're not afraid of dying. So what about being arrested? Okay?
Oh, well, no, I'm saying.
It seems like they're now trying to negotiate how they're going to get the money that they've collected out of the bank. There's gasoline all over the counters. All of them have lighters in their hands as well as the pistol that Ali is holding. I still don't know how they're going to manage to get out of here.
As the hours passed, the threat from the army and special forces stationed outside increased. We had received information they were preparing to storm the bank.
كاينين عم بلهونا من هيدا الشباك.
يلا من هون يلا معنا يلا من هون روح لبعيد احنا بنروح احكيلها يلا من هون.
It's been nearly 9 hours. Negotiations are still taking place, but we don't seem to have progressed that much. We're still in the same situation, but what we do know is that the depositors and Rami have made specific demands to those that they're communicating with outside. They say that they want to be able to leave this bank freely and safely with the money, and then also put mechanisms in place in order to make sure that they have a fair trial.
Keeping the money as they pledged. Their sons will receive the money, Ali and Ibrahim, okay? And
you hide yourself.
they will listen to our testimony and take it from there, and they're not gonna get handcuffed. No handcuffs, okay? That's it.
It's been 16 hours, and the 4 people who've been holding up the bank are going to hand themselves in, but they believe that the money is going to be taken away somewhere else. We're hopefully also going to leave now.
يلا دقيقة مديرة نحن طالعين عندهم مفتاح بالبيت شو بدنا ناخذه معنا؟
بس دقيقة Slicker need to chill.
Bro, what the fuck is wrong with this chat, man? Brother. This, what the fuck am I reading? Are y'all done, brother? Jesus, man.
كلنا معك.
Chill out, man. Socialism, capitalism, commies, Hassan. Like, what the fuck am I even reading, man?
Employees who were held to put the bank insisted they wanted to press charges. So Rami, Ali, Ibrahim and Katrine were held in jail. All 4 went on hunger strike. Family members and activists gathered outside the jail's courthouse demanding their release, including Bassam al-Sheikh Hussein, one of the first depositors to raid a bank.
Does it bring back memories being here? What do you feel being here supporting the others who are now inside?
بشعر بالقهر وبالأسى إنه فيك واحد عم يجيب مصرياته وحقه بيجوا هن بيحطوا ايدهم عليه وبيحبسوه بدل ما يحبسوا أصحاب المصارف الحرامية السراقين. هيدي عالم مظلومة.
Hussein walked into his local branch armed with a rifle and petrol canister and threatened to blow up the place. After 10 hours, his family was given $35,000 and he handed himself in. Hussein was released 5 days later to a hero's welcome.
Do you think Ali was right to go in with a gun as well, and that everybody else using Molotov cocktails and gasoline?
أكيد لازم الواحد ياخذ سلاح وياخذ معه قنابل، ياخذ معه متفجرات على البنك لحتى يطلع مصرياته. ما يروح بفرد بلاستيك بقى. يروح ويوصل للدم معهم. هول جماعة نصابين. حرامية. لازم يتعاقبوا بقى.
What do you think is going to happen to them next?
بإذن الله رح يطلعوا قريبا.
100%؟ شلون تعرف؟
عشان هن عم ياخذوا حقهم بايدهم، والقانون هيدا في ماده بالقانون انه اذا بتلتجئ للقضاء وما بيجيب لك حقك فيك تاخذ حقك بايدك، والحمد لله هيدي الماده الوحيده اللي عم تساعدنا.
Bank raids are still happening and there doesn't seem to be any solution. If a solution isn't found, what could happen? How far could things go?
هن القضاء والمصارف والدوله هن لازم يلاقوا الحل، بس هن بايدهم يعملوا حل بس ما بدهم يعطوا الحل. شو ناطرين؟ هيدا 10 اقتحام عشان ما عم يصير في دم. بعدكم معندين انه تاخذوا المصاري للعالم، بعدكم معندين انه تحبسوهم، بعدكم معندين انه راح تقشطوهم مصرياتهم وما راح يطلع من امركم شيء.
What am I reading?
راح يصير في دم ان شاء الله.
The Lebanese military is preparing for more raids. It released footage of soldiers practicing how to stop a depositor's bank raid, calling it a joint US-British counter-terrorism training exercise. State prosecutors and bank managers are also growing increasingly frustrated, which means those taking part are being held in jail longer. Rami and Ibrahim were let go first, and 8 days after the raid took place, we received word that Ali and Katrine may be on their way out. Hours later, they were finally released.
شلونكم؟
طالعين ابطال. بنتمنى على المصارف اللي لنا فيها حسابات يأمنوا لي وديعتي بالتي هي أحسن.
اليوم تحقق شيء تاريخي بمسيرة ثورة المودعين المحقة. اليوم اكتمل تطبيق حق الدفاع المشروع. راسنا مرفوع جدا. هودي أبطال، هودي أصحاب حق أخذوا حقهم، وما قبلنا إلا ترك، وما ظهرنا إلا ترك، لأنه نحن أصحاب حق.
عندكم أي ندم؟
لا لا لا.
All charges were dropped and the depositors kept their money, but they insist this isn't the end.
علي راح تفوت بالبنك مرة ثانية؟
100%.
100%؟
وحقتحمهم لو شو ما كانت، لو بالموت.
Why, but why at one point these specific bank branches just stop carrying any liquid, so like most people that are like want to get money for groceries, they won't be able to withdraw anything because they'll be like, fuck it, why would carry any cash on hand? We're just getting robbed. What? Man, I'm gonna give it a buck. I don't think this chat has any idea how banks work at even a little bit. This chat thinks you go to the bank and there's a fucking vault that has like millions of dollars. Bro, bank branches are fucking broke. When will you understand this? If you go to the bank itself, okay, physically, okay, they are poor. They don't have a lot of money on hand. Like what?
سيارتي
You can't just withdraw all your money straight up. That's not how that works.
البارودة والبنزين. جبت البارودة وجلان البنزين ومشيت فيهم بالشارع، قطعت الشارع. هلا في ناس كانوا تقريبا على باب البنك وجوا شافوني صاروا يمروا هيك من حد على جنب، قالوا هيدا بوشي. اللي على الباب جيت كمشت هيك الباب بقوه، خبطته بقوه. هون البنك كانه انفجار صار جوا، ابو كلهم وقفوا. مدير البنك مصدوم.
How much money do banks carry?
سد بوزك.
حدا يتحرك. ايدك بهذا الوقت؟
كان سلاح بايدي.
شافوها؟
Bro, I wasn't wrong. Look at this shit. Banks can have only enough cash in the vault to meet their anticipated transaction needs. Very small bank, 50,000, 200K, as much as 200K. Bro, they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing.
طبعا شافوها. معي بارودة يا ولاد. اوعى حدا يتحرك، خليكم كلكم محلاتكم. على الموظفين فتحت عليهم البنزين على الطاولات كلها وعلى الكاونتر وعلى الارض، قالن 20 لتر. رحت عند المدير مشته، قلت له تعال نقبر جيب لي المصاري.
شنو كان يقول؟
تكرم عينك خلص، روح انت طول بالك، اعطيك راح اعطيك. روح نقبر اعطيني ركض. فتح الخزنه.
That one guy had 60K. Out of all robbers, there's 3 robbers. There's one of them had 60K, one guy had 60K out, right? On paper, if they withdrew everything, they only have money to pay that one guy his own money. That's even the other robbers combined.
عد $400 عم يعطيني اياه، اللي هو $400. أنا هون جنات.
When you will you understand this?
تعطيني $400؟ قلت له بدل 210,000 مثل ما الله خلقك. هلا جابوا آخر مرة 35,000.
Did you ever think that this was how it was going to end?
بس خلص اخذ قرار ورايح فيه على الاخر. ما عارف حالي، بدي ولع، بدي اقتل، بده يصير في دم. ما كنت عارف هالشيء، مش مخطط بعدين شو بده يصير. خلص بدي مصاري وشو ما يصير بعدين.
منو المسؤول بهذا الوضع اللي لقيتوا نفسكم به؟
المسؤولية بداية هي على الدولة كلياتها، السياسيين كلياتهم. المصارف والدولة هن اللي وصلونا لهم.
That's gonna thank him.
I'm Michael Learmonth, editor-in-chief of Vice News. Too often, traditional news outlets shy away from the real stories and experiences of those living through global conflicts. Not Vice News. Our reporters are on the ground, fearlessly covering the human stories that shape our world.
I enjoyed the video.